Every time I think I'm going to take a week off from Sportsball, all of the shit happens. There's a lot to get to this week. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. I made a haiku to celebrate this occasion. Can't make a field goal. Nick Folk earned a great reward. Unemployment line. Still better than Tampa Bay kickers, though, not saying much. Way to let the Patriots off the hook. So Andrew Luck is apparently healthy, but they're suddenly babying the shit out of him? It's like the Colts went from chucking him into barbed wire to wrapping their flamed-out supernova in bubble wrap. Didn't matter since the 49ers revived in the fourth quarter like a zombie from the dead and forced the affair to overtime. But the Colts granted the 49ers their tanking wish and proved victorious. Too bad for Mike Pence, who realized that he was watching a Colts 49ers game and walked out during the anthem. Don't blame him at all, but he missed a good game. It's in typical Buffalo style to raise their fans' hopes with a somewhat strong start only to get beaten back to reality in humiliating fashion. The Bills just had no answer for AJ Green and weren't able to muster anything substantial against the Bengals. Honestly, it's right on schedule into the inevitable transition into walking mediocrity. In other news, Marvin Lewis still lives on. I think this was the game where the Cardinals were officially buried in a mass grave while barely living. They were absolutely dominated in every way, shape, and form against an equal squad hungry to prove doubters like me wrong. They're doing a good job of it so far. Cardinals, time to make a panic move and trade for washed-up Adrian Peterson. So who the hell thought this match would be against winless teams at the start of the year? Whose magic will allow them to fuck up more? The unmitigated disaster of the home gameless Chargers, or a Giants team that doesn't have enough liquor in the world to ail their woes? Let's see who fate decides to take a shit on today. Holy fuck, football gods. I know OBJ pissed you off, but to take out the Giants' entire receiving core? Isn't losing to the Chargers enough suffering? It's been in typical Giants style as of late to rip their fans' hearts out in ridiculous fashion, and this game just upped the goddamn ante tenfold. Fuck you, Spanos. Hey, you guys remember all that hype about the explosive Steelers offense before the year? Oh, it exploded alright. Into 10,000 shards of drama-filled glass. The whole game was an absolutely embarrassing display against a Jags team hungry for revenge after being embarrassed by the Jets. Big Ben looks absolutely cooked and seems like he's counting the days until retirement. Le'Veon Bell has been relegated to bubble screens on 3rd and long, and Antonio Brown won't shut the fuck up about not getting the ball. Good. It's fitting for this hypocritical squad to have karma slap them right upside the face. Pick 6 after pick 6. Good job, Jacksonville. Keep imposing your will with that running game. The tears of angry Yinzers are deliciously salty. Unfortunately, they could not transfer that defense to Florida State on their final drive. Jets, you may have recently adopted the art of the tank, but you are mere Padawans. The Browns have stewed in the tank for generations. They have caressed the tank for so long that they could identify every nook and cranny blindfolded. Good work, Jets. You have all but officially butt-fumbled the tank. Onward to a 5-win season! This is the game where the entire city of Detroit had an Anvil Ex Machina land right on their heads. They were absolutely smoked by the Panthers, and the offense was too little too late an arrival. Cam Newton proved that last week wasn't a fluke by being able to read routes, unlike those pesky women journalists and their inferior brains. Cam may have lost valuable sponsorships due to his idiocy, but does it not take two to tango? Well, shit. A game that went from an easy win for the Titans became a slogfest of an affair because Mariota's hammies decided to fuck up. It was just some very, very ugly football that both teams tried to lose in spirited fashion. The Dolphins somehow managed to reluctantly snag victory away from those Titans. Unfortunately, the Dolphins' O-line coach Chris Forster chose to take the term run a line a little too seriously and film what he may have called a powdered Oklahoma. Just another notch in a shit show of a season for those Dolphins. Here's a math equation for you. Derek Carr's offense plus stout Ravens D divided by Donald Penn being baited by a total stalker of a fan in the parking lot equals absolute panic in Raider Nation. There will be no Vegas to save your alarmingly bad defense anytime soon. Brace yourselves. And don't look now, but the Ravens are in contention for the AFC North title. Not that it means anything. A battle for NFC West superiority leaves the Rams with a chance to emerge as the class of the division. Unfortunately for them, it did not work out. Jared Goff turned in a rookie throwback performance, and the Legion of Boom found a solution to that white-hot Rams offense. The Seahawks may have no line, but there is still life in those puke-worthy neon green uniforms. Seattle, you are still kings of the division. You would think that the Cowboys would have learned from the debacle last postseason, but fortunately they haven't. Aaron Rodgers proved that he is an absolute god and brought the Packers towards a comeback for the ages. The Dallas D seems to have no answers for King Rodgers, especially in Jerry World. It's been an incredibly disappointing season for the Cowboys so far this year. Must be revenge for that Lucky Whitehead bullshit. Time to grandstand about the anthem some more, Jerry boy. Kansas City has proven so far that they are the absolute class of the NFL, even against a Texans squad coming off a total shellacking of the Titans. Alex Smith has become a gunslinger, Kareem Hunt is a stud, Tyreek Hill an explosive weapon, the offensive line woefully underrated. I won't hop on the hype train just yet, especially with my habit of horrifically jinxing teams I ride to victory. Cautious optimism is key here. But don't worry, Texans, you've looked solid these past few weeks offensively. Or just run another fundraiser to rebuild the defensive line. You might need to. The failure of the Giraffe has brought about a new era of Trubisky. He stars in The Search for Offense, a game where neither team could do anything for the longest time besides take sacks and punt the ball. The Vikings were so desperate they threw Sam Bradford into a heap for the glorious Case Keenum. John Fox calls a timeout, only to suffer a delay of game penalty. All that leads to a tight game. Trubisky hasn't done anything totally stupid yet, and there it goes. He kissed that drive goodbye like he kisses titties. Joke's still better than my MLB playoff predictions. Why must I jinx everything?
Marcus Sherrill standing back. It's a fake. And it's on target to Benny Cunningham. Still on his feet. He may score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Well, there's a pass play over 30 yards.